The RedRock 4x4 Stubby Front Bumper with Grille Guard is for those of you that have a 2007 and up JK that are looking to swap that factory front bumper for something that's going to add a lot of additional off-road features and something that's going to be much more compact so that you can fit a nice large 37-inch tire without the clearance issues that you would otherwise have with that big tire and the factory bumper. This bumper is going to install very easily onto your Jeep, definitely a 1 out of 3 wrench bolt-on installation like most other aftermarket bumpers, and the whole process shouldn't take you more than about an hour or so, but we will talk more about that in just a second. So like I said, the main reason for purchasing a stubby front bumper like this one is for additional clearance. You are going to be able to run a 37 or larger inch tire without the clearance issues that you would otherwise have. Normally a 37 will hit the factory front bumper, but with this being much shorter, not sticking out much past the frame rails, you're going to have some additional clearance there. A lot of people will also install a stubby front bumper just because they like the look. It gives your Jeep that sort of mean bulldog off-road styling, a little bit more stripped down and utilitarian look, but this is also going to still add a good number of features that factory front bumper isn't going to have. This bumper from RedRock 4x4 is going to give you that nice compact shape, we pack in a lot of features, and also be less expensive than some of the other options out there. As far as the construction goes, this is going to be 5/32 inch steel with 2-inch 0.12-inch wall thickness steel tubing up on the Grille Guard itself. This is going to be a very nice design. It almost looks like the factory bumper design in that it has these bump outs right in front of the frame rails, just like the factory plastic front bumper does, but of course it's steel and it doesn't have the ends that extend beyond that. So I really do like the look of this bumper. Like I said before, you also are going to get a lot of features out of this, a lot of functionality. You're going to have a couple of spots here for D-rings, and this does come with the D-rings, so that's going to give you some recovery points. Right up on top, you do have this winch plate. Now, the winch plate is a separate piece that bolts onto the rest of the bumper. That's definitely not a bad thing. If you chose to run this bumper without a winch, you don't have a winch yet, but you plan on getting one, you can simply leave this winch plate off, but when you do need it, bolt it in place, and it'll hold up to a 12,000-pound winch, and it does have a pretty standard bolt pattern, so pretty much any winch you'll purchase can go right up on here. Now, because this winch doesn't sit down between the frame rails, there's no need to really put any sort of vacuum pump or anything like that. Everything will bolt directly into place. Now, something that you don't get on a lot of other stubby bumpers is the fog lights that are right here. A lot of stubby bumpers don't have space for fog lights, whether they be factory or otherwise. This one does, so you can bolt those factory fogs directly into your aftermarket bumper. And that's a feature I really like. Again, a lot of them don't have it, or they'll have holes for lights that you have to purchase separately. This allows you to use those factory fog lights, which you already have the wiring for, you already have the lights. You might as well buy a bumper that will allow you to bolt those fog lights directly into it, and this will do just that. Now, as it says in the name, this also has the Grille Guard, this bar that goes up and over. This has 2 light mount tabs on it, so it's gonna add some style. It's gonna offer some light protection against brush and other things that might come in contact with your grill. And you are gonna have a spot to mount 2 additional lights on here, and they do really pay some good attention to detail with this bumper. They have a couple of holes drilled directly below where the light mount tabs are. Now, they come with a rubber block off in there, but you can pop those plugs out and then you can run your wiring down inside here, just making for a really, really clean installation, no surface run wires. So a lot of features that I really like with this bumper. I think is a very well put together bumper, especially for the price. So for the installation, again, 1 out of 3 wrenches, about an hour or so. The first step is going to be removing that factory front bumper. You'll do that by removing the splash shield on the bottom and the bumper cover up top. You can go ahead and remove the fog light sockets from the fog light housings and then unbolt the bumper itself, simply giving it a pull and completely removing it from the Jeep. Once it's on the ground, you can unbolt those fog light housings from the factory bumper, bolt them into your new RedRock 4x4 bumper, and if you are going to be installing a winch, this is the time that you can install your winch plate and your winch itself. And you can also do those steps with the bumper installed on the Jeep. I find it a little bit easier to get to all of the bolts doing it on the ground. Now, if you do bolt a winch onto this thing, of course it's going to be a much heavier package, so it'll probably help to have an extra set of hands around to lift everything onto the Jeep, and that is going to be the next step. Simply lift this on, set it over top of the frame horns, and use the included hardware to bolt it down. Once you're finished, you will have to wire up your winch, wire up your lights, but as far as the bumper itself goes, the installation is complete. This stubby bumper will run you right around $320, and like I said, I do think that's a pretty good deal for what you're getting here. You get a lot of features, some features that you don't find on other stubby bumpers, and you're getting something that is quality, looks good, and is well built, so I think this one is a pretty good deal. So if you're looking for a stubby front bumper that is packed full of off-road ready features, I definitely recommend taking a look at this option from RedRock 4x4, and you can find it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.